everyone. I'm Christelle, co-founder of Alegria.group and also president of the SFPN. I'm very glad you are all here today with us. The goal of this talk is to introduce you to Quentin and Alexandre, who are makers at the Alegria community, Alegria.network. The goal is to talk about how community can change lives and what it does to speed up Nocode careers. So you know, at Alegria we have three main topics we cover. One agency, Nocode agency, one Nocode school, Alegria Academy, and a network, Alegria.network. Before getting more into speaking with Quentin and Alexandre, I would like to share with you one thing about our DNA at Alegria.network and why we started very soon with the idea of creating a community, because a community is something really needed for people. It's a group of people that are together and that create things together. We really think at Alegria that it is important to get into a community life, not only to work together but also to live together. So we identified like 4 pillars. Maybe you know them about a community. Just a quick history here before we start. One of the main pillars of community is that humans are fundamentally social. They want and they need to speak to each other. The picture on the left is the Agora, many thousand years ago. People already gathered to speak, and now we can do that on Discord, on Slack. It's the same thing, actually. The second pillar is unsynchronized information. Since the beginning, we already wanted to talk with people unsynchronized way. Sorry for my French accent. And now we can do that also by knowledge base. At Alegria.network, we created a talent guide, so every maker who joined us have his own toolkit to get to know information, but not in a live way. Rules and hierarchy. It's also one of the main pillars that created togetherness. For example, we had ranks in the Navy or the military thing, and on Discord you can also set up roles you come, you have access to one channel, then you introduce yourself, then you have access to more. So it's the same way, but with digital tools. And the last pillar is that live events. This is where we are here today, and people need that also, especially after pandemic, where we were all behind our computers. So it's in the DNA of Alegria.group to create a community, because we are think that it's necessary. And now we have 250 talents, makers, and Nocode designers who joined us. We created with them 200 projects for clients, and I'm very proud of that and proud of them, because they are the blood of the community, if I can say that. There are many paths to becoming a Nocode maker. And what we can see in our community that we have very diverse profile. We have people that didn't came from the digital and the web field. We have people that were old cookers, dancers, and because Nocode is accessible, we can get more people in the code industry. We also noticed that we have two personas, two types of profile, and they are here representing them. The first one is more like operational. He is Quentin, very operational, likes to create and to develop Nocode apps, and the second profile is more entrepreneurial. He uses Nocode and he does Nocode to create his own company and to progress and to automate things also. I think maybe, I don't know if you want to stay step down or go up. So now I want you to get to know them better. It's like an interview thing. And after that, we'll have a Q&A session. So if you have questions for them, you can ask them, or questions about the community. It's up to you. So thank you, both of you, for being here. They are both members of the Alegria community. Maybe, Quentin, you can start and introduce yourself.
So, hi everyone. To make it short, I'm Quentin Rebergue, with the French accent. I'm a student in computer science and engineering school in Paris. And besides that, I'm a Nocode maker. With Bubble, I use Bubble.io to make things like app. And today we'll talk about my journey as a student and maker, and how I can secure and pay my life in parallels of my classes. And that's it.
Hi everyone, hope you are doing good in Paris today. So my name is Alexandre Teillet, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Mekaa, a no-code studio specialized in creative development of website and application. I'm not a tech guy. I study web design and graphic design since I'm 17, and I discovered Webflow and all the no-code community 2 or 3 years ago.
No, thank you. Maybe I would like to know how you got into Nocode. Is there something that brought you in, or it was a natural thing?
So for me, as soon as I'm just reading a bit, I'm not sure about my life, maybe. No, yeah. So as soon as graduated from my school, I had to work on my own. And I made, a student job like waiter, delivery man, things like that. And it was a bit frustrating because I had a bachelor degree, and I didn't find any job with this bachelor, so it was a bit hard. And I wanted to make an internship for my school, and I was in Alegria, and in this agency I learned about Rebergue with some professionals, and it was really great people, and I progressed. I learned really quick because I have some algorithm basics, and that's the thing. After that, at the end of my internship, I continue with Alegria as a freelancer in 5 months, and during this summer, I work for the agency too, as an intern. And thanks to that, thanks to my coach, thanks to people I met, now I can follow my study well and just and pay my studies, pay fees, the fees. So that's it. And you?
Yeah, for me, so like I said, I discovered Nocode like 2 or 4 years ago. But as I remember preparing this speech, I discovered Nocode a long time ago. By when I was young, I was learning how to code HTML and CSS, and it was boring because I'm creative and not a developer. So I discovered Adobe News from Adobe News. So Nocode tool from Adobe, like you can use the website like in Photoshop, and yeah, I discovered Adobe News, making website and all this stuff. And then during my graphic design study, I didn't continue Nocode, but like 3 years ago, I rediscovered Webflow and all this stuff. And now all the tools that are here make Webflow, and yeah, that's it.
Why was HTML and CSS boring for you?
Because I don't have any patience for this to learn. It was long and I didn't have the patience.
So JavaScript is even more boring?
Yeah. I prefer changing the color of the button, clicking, and the color change.
Yeah, same for me.
Color.
Yeah, I am the same as you actually, because I learned HTML and CSS, and then JavaScript, but it was too complicated for me. I prefer just the visually editors. What did you succeed to achieve with Nocode tools by learning Nocode? Is there something really sparkling for you?
So for me, as a Nocode maker, I made some projects like showcase sites, marketplace, and some intern tools like CRM, PRM, and ERP. And now I'm currently working on a mobile app on iOS, and I'm fighting with Apple to publish it on the store. If someone here made some app, you know how it's hard. So yeah, that's it. And to make talk about JS and CSS, I made JS and I like JS and CSS too, and it's really hard, and you need to practice it during like 2 or 3 years to be good for projects. And when you start Bubble, you just have to make to learn Bubble in 3 weeks, and you can start some small project, but the progression is incredible.
Yeah, it's not another language to learn.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with you, Quentin. And for me, like I said, I didn't study code, and with Bubble or Webflow, you can make an application pop from nowhere without knowing how to code. So that's pretty insane. And yeah, that's it. Making websites, all you want.
And is there one project or one thing that you? What is the proudest thing you are? What is the thing you are most proud of? I think it's better like in this way.
So for this question, sorry, I will reading a bit because my English is good, but not not enough maybe. So yeah, I'm very happy with all the projects I've done, and of course I'm proud of the biggest project that is not finished yet. We built a 100% custom ERP, and this ERP manages the entire inventory, quotation, invoice, and delivery. We can launch some shipments to a customer directly from this tool, which will communicate with the logistician. And we worked really hard, a lot. This project started in December, last year in December. And we have worked really hard, yeah, and we have pushed some possibilities of Bubble quite far. and we are really proud of these things. And
what I am the most proud of, I think it's working with big company in fintech and making their website and they making they trust us without code, so that's very cool. I think working with fintech, which is very tech industry, so without code they trust us, and that's the thing.
Yes, that's not an easy thing because we still need to evangelize a lot and to prove that Nocode can be scalable, secure,
it was hard to get this client because they told us like there is no code, or you can do nothing without code. Our website needs to be done on Node or React or things like that. In 2 weeks we made 50 pages and
they really see the difference here. And speaking more about community things, and do you think there is a Nocode culture or something more than just being taken another way? In your opinion, is there something more like cultural, social?
So for me, I've been in this world for 1 year now, so maybe I will not have maybe the best point of view. As for mine, I think there's an emergence of this culture, and it's not yet fully developed if I compare to with code culture. But there's some great things. There's a great community in each tool, like the Udo community, which is a Nocode tool to make a website, same as Webflow, same as Rebergue. We are really we help each other, and it's really great. And there's another thing, like some I don't know how to, what is it? It's like a movement. There's a company maybe. Some people propose some merch about Nocode, like the Nocode.group, which proposes some clothing, some
goodies.
Yeah, goodies, exactly. And we can see that it's maybe the beginning, and it's great to have a shirt with a bubble and Alegria maybe, or things like that.
We are actually at the end of the room. We have one Webflow maker that has a hoodie, but he just removed it. Webflow hoodie, actually. But yeah, we know that, I don't know, do you know the Nocode crew, maybe? Yeah. So they I think this is very the culture, one thing about the culture, that you just have the belonging feeling of being in something.
I'm waiting for when I have a We Love Nocode tote bag. And when I'm going to my computer science school, which are really proud of they just code in C and assembler, and they just live with the machine and with the computer, and I'm here and I bring my bag and I'm doing Nocode, and I'm really proud of that.
I totally agree with you, I just want to add that of course there is a culture, and I think in Paris now you have one of the best examples of this Nocode culture, and without this community, without Alegria, and without all of the agency that make Nocode today, there is no event, and Nocode Summit wouldn't be today. The way. But no Nocode Summit without the community.
Yeah. You both are members of the Alegria.network. Do you feel it added something to you by just being in the community? What value does it add to you?
What I like with the community is this exchange on the new tools, techniques, and plugins. We all advise each other, and it's a really, how can you say, maybe a right benevolent universe. Not easy one. Benevolent. I don't know for English people it's good or not. Yeah, that's fine. So benevolent universe. And I really like to see some tricks to get around the problem. And it's great. There's also the citizen maker, which is great. We meet people people who made another job, a non-tech job.
You mean like recommend?
Yes, recommendation. Yeah, exactly. And they bring a new energy and a new way of thinking. And it's really appreciated. No, it's really appreciated.
Appreciable?
For me, I don't have something to add because when we prepare the question, we write the same thing.
You talk about that a little, like encounters with citizen maker, people that change their careers. Did you have great encounters, great people you met? Do you have maybe something to share about that?
I think it's the emotional moment, and I made a toast for everyone. But yeah, I made a lot of great people at Alegria, and without these people, maybe we continue as a waiter or things. Anyway, I've been advised a lot, very well considered, despite my age, and people have been really good to me. If I can mention one person, maybe he's in remote, I don't know, but it's Mekaa, who is an expert in Bubble.io, and he's the one who brought me to Bubble. He coached me during my internship, and he was my lucky star when I started afterwards.
He gets a commission.
Yeah, I'm waiting the payment.
And for me, for sure, with meeting a lot of new people that are totally different in their jobs. Like you have cooker background people, waiter, but not only tech. So you have a big difference, and you have a lot of people to meet. So that's good.
Yeah, that's really something, and you have way more to share, and you have different background, cultures.
Yeah, more to learn from other people.
Yeah, and this is something I really feel in the community because I see it from the inside, and people are very different and like to share their knowledge and to share who they've been before, and it's really something really interesting to see all tech or non-tech backgrounds also. Well, do you have any things or other things you want to share?
No, it's fine. I think we're fine.
Yeah. Maybe you can put down your iPad if you want, because I don't have any more questions for you. But maybe the public, the agendas. Yeah?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, you're a freelancer, right?
Yeah.
So was it a choice or it was a default choice because you didn't have any permanent contract in the French market? So I just wanted to know if there are permanent contracts in the French market regarding Nocode, or it's still not?
No, that was the freelance contract and the permanent contract.
Okay, so they are available, and you can find many open jobs on Nocode, permanent open jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, I stay with Alegria because we work really well together.
Okay.
And I made an intern and as a freelance doing all the. Maybe I don't really understand the question.
Yeah, the question is why didn't you take a permanent contract with Alegria?
Because I have some class and I have a lot of work. And
Okay.
when
He's
He's a student. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And when So I made my internship at Alegria, and after that I needed to take class.
Okay. Because usually when companies take freelancers, that means that there is not enough business over there to take permanent contracts. So they take on based on the mission they have, they take freelancers. So I was wondering, is the French market still not very big, or we are still at the beginning? Or
From my point of view as a company,
Yeah.
it's very hard to find makers, permanent makers. In the French market, there are not enough trained and professional makers yet.
Okay.
That's why we created Alegria Academy to train more people to this new job, because it's rather young and new. So this is one goal on Alegria Academy side.
Yeah.
And for Alegria.tech, the goal is to we have permanent contracts for bubble makers. We are looking for bubble makers, webflow makers, Airtable makers, but it's very hard how to find the great talents. And
question following what you say, would those people take a permanent contract, say, or would they prefer for a couple of €1,000, or would they prefer to stay freelance and get €400 or €500 a day, work 6 days a month, or have a permanent contract for a company?
Both.
From the it depends, yeah. For me, I was a freelancer, but during the summer, film. I will
it was
be.
A CDD for
yes,
you.
exactly.
Because he was on vacation. Quentin is a student, so he had like 2 or 3 months during the summer to work. So it was a CDD.
So I prefer to.
But you're a student anyway, so it's maybe a bit different.
Yeah.
But maybe Alexandre has a different background as you're an entrepreneur. You take freelancers.
So we have one freelancers that work, like you say, 6 days in the month, but we have also one day.
Okay. So yeah.
It depends on the people motivation. Like what they want. They want stability or they want.
But in terms of percentage, for example, I think you have 150 makers, right? In Alegria.
In the community, it's 250.
200, okay.
But they are not all doing contracts and
that's what I'm asking about.
Project with us, because we have two kind of people in the community. People who just gather around to talk about Nocode, to attend events, live events.
Okay.
They don't work with us, but we have also makers in the community who joined us just to work with us in a freelancer contract work.
Okay.
In terms of percentage, what is the rough number of people who are actually working on projects with you from the community? Let's say 250, you can just give me a range.
The rate of working, it's 30%, about 30%.
You wrote that there were 200 projects or 250 persons, so on average, that's less work than one per person.
It can be more. We have people that don't work at all, and we have people that do succeeding projects. Because we at Alegria.tech, we have like one big project. For example, Quentin is working on CDO, which is the big project we're working on since last December, and Quentin has done many repeated contracts for specifically this big project. So we have like one big project, and it can be many contract works for one project.
CDU is a plumbing distributor, or?
CDU is the name of our client.
Okay.
Of the big project, ERP, we are doing for them. So many questions. Maybe you can go because I saw you earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you match actually the freelancers or the people to the projects? Are you involved in this process, or are people looking at your platform and then writing directly to the freelancers?
Now it's totally human managed. It's not automated because we are still a young company, and we want to be sure about who we put with our clients, and we have like also two types of contracts. I don't know the English word. It's contract work, like régie.
Forfeit and research and materials, like contract.
What?
Time and material.
Yeah, it's.
Régie, c'est time and material.
Régie is just about time. You buy time and you sell time from a human being. And for this kind of contract, it's often directly with the clients, and we don't have anyone involved in the studio part with what we call the Nocode project leader. We have contract work that with a team that we create all the team with a project leader, with designers, with many Nocode makers, like on CDO, and then it's like you work inside the studio. But we have also people that work directly for the clients. For example, we have Conto VP as a client, and we have freelancers that work directly with them, and with no one from Alegria directly. What we do here is go to between the freelancer and the client directly. But Clémence here is a community builder, and she puts people and she schedules the meet, and she knows about every maker in the community, and now she knows who could be the best match for the assignment, because it's still manual, and we want to keep it that way for now, not to lose the social thing. But if we want to scale, at some point we will certainly need to automate this. Yeah.
Yeah. So who is your target audience in case of members? Are they agencies or freelancers only? What kind of type you're targeting, and which one do you prefer? Since the problem is with nowadays, employment has been changed for the past 10 years, especially with after the COVID, everyone is now preferring to work on themselves. They want to be a freelancer. Then eventually he becomes a business owner. So how do you manage the conflicts in this kind of manners? And secondly, when you take projects as your community, how do you secure this kind of project? If I joined you as a freelancer and the other freelancers had any kind of downside, so how is this being managed? Are you responsible for it? Are you going to have a guarantee for placement and the workflow establishment?
The guarantee is for the client?
Yes, of course, because I'm going to be affected. Let's say I'm going to join the team here as a freelancer, so they're going to do the job. But sometimes maybe someone had a downside for any reason. So are you guaranteeing this for the client, and how I'm going to be affected? Because I'm collaborating with that kind of project. And also the most important thing, how do you manage conflicts?
Okay, so I have 3 questions here.
I'm sorry.
So the first one was about...
Who's your target, freelancers versus agencies?
We actually, in the members, for now, we have both agencies and freelancers. And also permanent employee inside Alegria, but I will not mention them because it's kind of apart. But for the members that are independent, agencies or freelancers, the best thing for us is freelancers, because you deal with one people to one people. It's more easy to manage than to have one layer of discussion with somebody, then after he manages other people. It takes more time. So we prefer to work directly with freelancers. It's more easier. It's easier. For the security and the guarantee for the client, it really depends on what we've sold to the clients, because we have also many ways to work. For example, I mentioned earlier the Conto MVP contracts. Here, if we sell time, actually, but we also sell someone. So before we sign with the client, we show some profiles, like 2 or 3 people to the client. So he got to choose who he will be working with, and it's if the person is not available anymore, what we do is we find another person to continue, but the client is always informed before as soon as possible as we get to know that the freelancer is not available anymore or something like that. And it's always something with the client. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, but what about the other freelancers? So, because missing one part of the team is gonna affect the progress of the project itself. So there's gonna be downtime, if you know what I mean. As a freelancer, as an example, I have this time allocated for your project. So if this person is gonna be missing from the team now, we will be like waiting for a replacement until you find. And you just mentioned that finding talents is kind of hard. Am I correct? So where am I going to be standing as one part of this kind of team? Because you're working in an ERP system. This is something big. It's not a small thing. Yeah. So you need multiple people to work with you. Maybe some people are taking a section division like a sales division, someone from the CRM or whatever the sectors you're working with. So if you like missed out, we're going to be waiting for someone to fulfill this kind of place. How is it going to be managed? Because this is one of the most important parts. You guys are asking freelancers to join you.
It depends on who has the responsibility of the project leading, because either if it's a project inside the studio, we have to hurry a lot to find a replacement. We have people available in the freelancers. What we do is that we ask availabilities from the freelancers regularly, so we know when or if they are ready or not available for work. So that's one clue, but it's not enough. It's not sufficient. And if in the case of we are just selling one time of somebody like a Nocode maker for the client, it's the responsibility of leading the project on the client side. So what we do is also hurry to find somebody else, but we have several profiles usually, and what we do is that we call all the freelancers and know if they are open or not to work on projects. But it's human management, so it's kind of complicated also to. It's not like objects that you can replace. One is broken.
Yeah, there's time. That's what the time is a factor.
Yeah.
I have a question, since you were talking about the French market, about jobs for Nocode makers, and do you have any data on like salary ranges that like full-time no-coders can expect?
For the French market, it starts about 3.6K in euros. About that.
It's specific to the French market.
About that, but it really depends on the companies. For us, it's like this, and at Alegria.Academy, it's something that we share. It's a key figure we share publicly, because that's what we saw for the people. That's what we expect for the people that will go out and be certified at the end of the scholarship, because Alegria.Academy is 15 months of training. It's kind of long.
What's the figure you said? Sorry,
The 36.
Okay.
C'est le début de la 36.
And I had a follow-up question on kind of like because I asked this question also to Emmanuel yesterday, but I'm curious kind of about all of your opinions about what makes a good no-code maker, kind of like, because it sounds like everybody can build no-code apps, right? Which is, I think it's true, everybody can start building it, but at what point do you say you need to have a certain skill or talent to build great apps? And you have studied web design, right? You have computer science background. So is there some like hard skill that you need?
Maybe you want to answer Alexandre because you're hiring also.
I mean that the ability to know the limit of the tool and don't engage a project on a tool that don't fit with the project. I mean, look, this is clear. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what makes a good no-coder.
Okay.
For me, I think for the soft skill is the same as a developer, a coder. But for the hard skill, when I'm working with some people who are more junior, I think a great thing is to make a great database and have some basics, some algorithmic basics. I think it's really important, and it's one of the biggest problems I think about Silent Maker. They're really great, but they have to learn the logic, and even if there's no code in Nocode, we need some logic and some data structure, some security, know how bubble work with backend workflow, front workflow, and things like that, and build things to be scalable. Make a database or a project, but always keep in mind that maybe in 2 months the client will say, oh, I want to add that, I want to change that, and make a things scalable and which can be modified easily without breaking all the job done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's really about anticipation, the ability to anticipate things. Also, at Alegria, we have like 3 levels of seniority, like junior, confirmed, and senior. And after that, we have the managers. But we are not looking for the same skills depending on the seniority. For example, we cannot ask a junior to anticipate everything and to know all the limits because he is here to learn also. So it depends on that, and we have 3 of hard skills and soft skills we are working on to clarify it. Because as an agency, we aim to grow, and we need to have something
Fair.
Yes, fair.
So, who's your target? Which region are you targeting in terms of business as Alegria? So,
For our clients?
for your clients, yeah, because I can see everyone is like in French. So, is like a language? Is there language mandatory? Is like you require French speakers in your community, or are you just open for the globe? And are you targeting or receiving any inquiries from international clients?
For now, on the maker side, I said that 90% are French or speak French, and we aim to open to all the globe because we already have international clients. We have clients in USA, in Mexico, in Spain,
UK.
so yeah, UK also. So we will look for international makers also, and we have people. We have we have companies. We have Alegria in the UK and in the USA also. We have already done that. And
Both are in the same community or just split up?
No, I mean like filial.
Okay.
Subsidiary.
Subsidiaries.
Yeah, we have 2 subsidiaries in the UK and USA, and we have 1 person who is at Mexico City developing the market on the Latin region.
Just one.
Yeah, maybe the last one because
Yeah, okay. A complementary question to the salary one. The daily rates, standard daily rates for this kind of for the makers.
For us, it's like it goes to 350 to 500, 600 maybe.
Okay, very clear.
But what we like the most is to work continually with friends and to do like 1 month full it's easier for the studio to work with like full time, even in freelancers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think we are good, and if you have other questions, we can talk outside because we need to leave the room now. But thank you very much.